Alright, good afternoon. My name is Eun from Gwangju National University. Let me proudly introduce my research topic, Guided Oral Reading Strategies to be a Fluent Reader. My presentation will follow this flow: who, why, what, and how. Who is my target? I'm currently working at SoCoRI.KOCH High School. This is a vocational school in Chungnam. And there are only 5 students who go to college, and there is no students who's attending private institutes. And let's take a glance at my reading class. The boy on the left, he fell asleep, and the boy on the right seems to be reading something, but he's holding it upside down. I can say this is a complete failure. Why did I fail? No. Why did I fail? First of all, my students have a very short attention span. Second, they have low reading comprehension skills. Third, they have no interest in the topic at all. So I came up with the idea, from novice readers into fluent readers, there should be a bridge. And I strongly believe oral reading should be that bridge. Then why? Why oral reading? Look at these beautiful book readers. Are you sure they are reading? Look at this guy in the middle. He's stuck in the first line, still on the first page. And she seems to be reading something, but she is definitely spacing out. And he's just counting pages, killing time. Like this, when they are reading books silently, we never know from their faces what they are actually doing. But when they read orally, we can see the actual reading process. According to Dr. Tim Rajansky, he says, oral reading is visible and audible. Oral reading helps with understanding. Oral reading improves fluency. And I'll tell you what to read. This is my school's textbook. Among 5, I chose these 3 for oral reading. So in Unit 1, students will get some advice through an interview. In Unit 3, they will make a story with the idioms they learned. In Unit 4, they express their feelings through a poem. So it goes like this. And now I want to share how to read. There are 3 steps. Step 1, active listening. Step 2, repeated reading. Step 3, reader theater. So amongst 3 units, let me start with Unit 4 first. So these steps will be applied to each reading time. In step 1, students take a listen to the text, and they break the words into syllables, and they label each word with part of speech. This is a learning tool I use in my classroom. Visit this website here, onenote.com, and amazing things will happen. It reads the text aloud and breaks the word into syllables so that students can learn about sound structure. Students are able to break the words into syllables, and they also label each word with its part of speech so that they can learn about sound structure. And while they are listening, they circle each syllable on their worksheet. And now let's move on to step 2, repeated reading. In step 2, students practice speaking and repeat over and over, and they articulate clearly and write an email using voice recognition. I'll show you how it works. Let's read this poem from top to bottom. When you read this poem from top to bottom, it says, she is angry at her father. But when you read it from bottom to top, the meaning is reversed, meaning is changed. Now she's happy about her father. And while they are repeating over and over, they get bored. So I gave them a mission. Am I pronouncing things correct? Do I sound clear? So they have to write an email with no fingers, voice only. So we use voice recognition function on their smartphones. Push this microphone button here and read.
On the base levels. The feasibility study according to the evaluation method of the division building shows varying.
When you read, the phone automatically writes what you say. And finally, the last step, step 3, read the theater. So in step 3, students submit their rehearsal video to get feedback from the teacher. And they read the paper in front of everyone. And this is their rehearsal videos they submit. And I gave him a personal feedback on his video. And this is a reader theater for the final performance. By the way, isn't it strange? He's holding a paper in his hand. In reader theater, students do not need to memorize their script. Instead, they read it aloud so that they can reduce their fear and anxiety during the presentation. And I'll show you how it works.
Public confidence should be emphasized. And the final introduction.
And after the performance, I gave them a rubric. So there is a rubric for each step. Rubric for active listening, rubric for repeated reading, a rubric for reader theater. So in step 1, the teacher focused on students' sensitivity to sound and categorizing and their autonomy. And step 2, the teacher focused on their phrasing, pronunciation, and pacing. And in step 3, the teacher focused on students' posture and voice and collaboration. And at the end, they can learn about how to listen, how to read, and how to speak aloud. And they also develop collaboration skill as well. Thank you for listening. This is all for my presentation. Thank you.